guys, today I'm here to do the book sacrifice tag. This tag was created by Ariel Bissett. I'll leave her link in the description box below. Basically, this tag is to talk about books that we hate, so let's get started. The first scenario is an overhyped book. Let's start this off with a zombie apocalypse. Let's say you're in a bookstore, just browsing, when BAM! Zombie attack. An announcement comes over the PA system saying that the military has discovered that the zombies' only weakness is overhyped books. What book that everyone else says is amazing but you really hated do you start chucking at the zombies knowing that it will count as an overhyped book and successfully wipe them out? Now, you guys are all gonna hate me for this, but for the overhyped book to sacrifice to the zombies, I chose The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. Now, before you guys all come storming down and egging my house, I'd just like to explain, I didn't absolutely hate this book. Like, the first 100 pages I was like hooked and I was like, this is such a good book. But then there were parts that I just frankly didn't care. I don't really know why, but I just didn't. Some parts I was like, and other parts I was like, all the changing of perspectives constantly was just confusing, and I sometimes wouldn't know what character was speaking, and then it would randomly switch to third person, and I guess that's just part of the charm of the book, but I really didn't enjoy it. Sorry, you guys. The second scenario is a sequel. Let's say you've just left the salon with a smashing new haircut, and boom! Torrential downpour. What sequel are you willing to use as an umbrella to protect yourself? And I chose Pretties by Scott Westerfeld. Now, I really loved Uglies. It was like one of my favorite dystopians. I was so excited to read Pretties, and I didn't really like it. The first, half, I absolutely hated the first half of this book. Until it got literally about halfway, it finally started to get a little bit exciting and pick up. And it got better, and I was excited, and then it just kind of got worse again, and all the characters were annoying me, and I didn't really care about any of them. So that's why I've kind of been putting off reading specials and extras, but I'm going to get to them next week for the BookTubeathon, so that's good. Next scenario is a classic. Let's say you're in a lecture and your English teacher is going on and on about how this classic changed the world, how it revolutionized literature, and you get so sick of it that you chuck the classic right at his face because you know what? This classic is stupid and it's worth detention just to show everyone how you feel. What classic did you chuck? And I don't have a physical copy of this book, but the classic that I chose was Catch-22 by Joseph Heller. I'll insert a picture right now. I had to read this for English last year, and, well, first of all, it's a war book, and I don't really like war books, so I was already kind of skeptical going into it, and at first it was really good, it was really funny, but it's 400 pages long, and it's just the same repetitiveness. Yes, I get it, all these people are idiots, I don't care anymore, it could have been 200 pages, and it was just so redundant, and I didn't care about any of the characters, I hated all the main characters. It was just, and plus we had to study it for about 2 months to get through it, and it was like every day I'd walk in English class. Catch-22 again, when is this ever gonna end? The last scenario is your least favorite book of life. Let's say that you're hanging out at the library when, BAM! Global warming explodes and the world outside becomes a frozen wasteland. You're trapped and your only chance for survival is to burn a book. What is the book you first run to? Your least favorite book of all life. What book do you not fully regret lighting? And for this one, I chose As I Lay Dying by William Faulkner. I'll insert a picture right here. I also had to read this for English class last year. Now, I know you're going to think, oh, that must have been the worst English class ever. 2 of your most hated books were in that class. Well, we read some other really good books, but this one I had to read over the summer and then write an essay about, and it was just terrible. Basically, the story is about this family in Mississippi, and their mother dies, and in order to honor their wishes, they drive her across the country to go bury her in her hometown, and all of them are like have their own individual problems. Like one of them is like crazy, and her husband is like the most selfish person in the world. Like all these characters are so messed up, and it's just all these crazy things happen, and it's just so stupid. And they finally, I don't want to give anything away, but basically I hated this book so much, and it didn't help that it's like my English teacher's favorite book ever. So we spent like 2 weeks going through it, and that just made me hate it even worse than I already did, and I didn't think that was possible. So that was my least hated book of life. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time. Goodbye!